What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new single-player Mortal Kombat 2 Countercade from Arcade1up. Okay, so on this channel I have not been shy about talking about the form factors from Arcade1up that I just don't like at all, but this is not one of them. Now, the 3/4 scale cabinets are my favorite. That is where it's at for me. But the Countercade is a close second because of the great things that they did with those two-player cabinets that we reviewed not that long ago. Now, last night on my This Week show, which premieres every Sunday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, I did a sneak peek. I did a quick unboxing of this cabinet just for everybody there to kind of give them a preview of what we're going to be talking about in this review today. There's a lot to discuss. There's some changes that were made, and I think overall we're probably getting less for less. Is that a good thing? Well, let's find out. So when you unbox this, it's going to be very similar to the two-player Countercades, really all the Countercades. There's never been a Countercade that you really have to assemble, so that's the great thing for maybe novices or somebody who just wants to get their quick arcade fix. That's definitely the way to go as far as ease of use. Take it out of the box and plug it in. The problem still persists of taking the plastic film off the actual bezel of the cabinet, and it's just really frustrating. I had to disassemble this little Countercade just to get all that plastic off. Now, maybe if you're not, super OCD like I am, you can live with it, but I just couldn't help it. A couple things are definitely missing. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that the lit marquee is not there. This is just going to be your standard wood marquee that we used to get back in the day with those first and second generation 3/4 scale cabinets. Obviously, you have a single player deck, which is fairly comfortable for the most part. You're also not going to get the USB port or the headphone jack. We're going to talk about those missing ports in just a little bit. Okay, so that's the exterior, but what about the interior changes? What's going on inside that's just different from the two-player cabinets? Well, the speakers appears to be the same. It's definitely mounted in the same place. It's definitely loud, so that's a good thing. We still have that same awesome sound we have with the two-player cabinets. The PCB is not going to be the same. And to be honest with you, I was kind of bummed that I wasn't going to be able to just take the two-player Countercade lit marquee, throw it on this one, and call it done. It's not going to be a plug-and-play solution. It's not going to be that easy, unfortunately. But there is a way we can tap into some of the 5-volt power on this particular PCB without doing any soldering. Remember, I had an issue lighting the coin door on my T2 cabinet because the USB port on this PCB was being utilized by the send-in light gun technology. But there is a micro USB port, which is how I got around the problem here. I think it's the same thing here. Take your micro USB to USB adapter, plug it into this PCB, and now you have the ability to plug in a 5-volt LED light strip. And besides the headphone jack and the external USB port, you're also going to be missing one game. That's right, you're not going to get Mortal Kombat 3 with this. It's only going to include Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. And as far as dip switch settings, they're all going to be the same. It's just going to be difficulty settings and demo sound scan lines for all 3 games. But let's talk about the biggest plus, the biggest positive. One of the things I was really concerned about, and it was the fact that the screen on this Countercade is exactly what we got before with the 2 players. It looks excellent. The viewing angles are spectacular. It looks really good. I'm gonna tell you, if they were to skimp out on the screen, this definitely would feel like just a cheap product. It really wouldn't feel like, I wouldn't feel good about spending over $100 on this. But because they retained that beautiful 8-inch screen, it definitely makes me feel a little bit better about my purchase. Okay, so with all that being said, what do I think about this little 1-player Countercade? Well, I gotta tell you, I like it. I really like it. There's a couple things that are holding me back from saying I love it. Lit marquee. Come on, we had it on the last generation. You should have included it on this Countercade. It really just adds a little bit of something special. And then maybe a USB port with a compatible controller. Maybe the controller doesn't have to be included, but give me the specs. Let me know exactly the type of controller that I need to work with it. And that would have given you just a little bit of functionality that would have, made some sense. It's a single player with the option of a 2-player if you wanted. But for $169, it's not a bad price. If you can get these things on sale, which they go on sale from time to time, we've seen the 2-player version, $50 off at least, maybe even lower than that. If they drop this price by $50, you're looking at a total cost of about $120, and at that price, I think it's a steal. All right, so that about does it. This is going to go join the other Countercades I have over on the Countercade counter. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel and this review. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.